Hello everyone, Josh here with Texas Games, bringing you all another My Hero Ultra Impact video. Now, a lot of you know by now that there's a new banner that's already been leaked in the data files. It's already in the game. Even some of those shards for those characters are already available in the shop early on, even as early as like the first day the game launched on Global, which is a little bit odd. But yes, these 3 units will be coming soon. But what I wanted to do here today is actually break down all 3 units and tell you which one is really worthwhile in my opinion, and what I think about the other 2, because there's only one of these 3 that's actually worth anything in my opinion. The other 2 are just whatever. They're throwaway units. I don't really care. There's already other units available in the game that are better than them in my opinion, or kind of on equal footing, if you will. But there's one unit here that I really love, and I think he's going to do a lot of crazy things in the game. He's not going to be, game breaking by any stretch of the imagination, but he's going to be very solid, and even in some cases an upgrade over some of the other units you may already own. And he's going to fit into a lot of teams as well. He's very versatile. So we're going to be going over that unit last, and if you look at the top of your screen, you're going to already know who that is, because I already have these in order of who we're going to be going over. So, wink wink, there you go. Now, we're getting a new purple unit, we're getting a new red unit, and we're getting a new blue unit. So none of those are going to be the same color, so that's good. You got some variety there, which I love. I always love rainbow teams in a lot of games like this. They're just a lot more fun to play for me personally, but mono teams also have their place. So the first one we're going to be talking about is the new purple, the DST Midoriya. So inflicts 700% damage to one enemy, deals an additional 40% damage if the enemy is a villain. So of course that's going to be a bit situational. However, a lot of the enemies in this game, including a lot of teams in PvP, utilize villains. So you're going to be getting up to 740% on that skill. Not bad. Inflict 300% damage to one enemy, damages based on speed. Now we're still trying to figure out what damage based on speed actually means. Is it like 100 speed equals additional 10% damage? Because if that's the case, that's garbage. But it could be better than that. That's going to take more testing. Damage based on speed could be very good, or very bad, depending on the results. But again, further testing needs to be done, because nobody has actually given me any confirmation, one way or the other. So we're going to just kind of hold judgment on that for now. But inflicting 300% damage in itself is still pretty decent on an action skill. But usually you'd like it, to have something else additional with it. So the damage based on speed, again, is kind of the factor here. Is it good or bad? We don't know yet. Inflict 350% damage to one enemy, increases speed by 30%, and fills the plus ultra gauge by 20%. Now that's a very good action skill that has a lot of things going on. It's speeding up your character, which can be very helpful in second turn onwards in PvP. Filling up your ult gauge obviously is good, because you want to try and ult as much as you can. That's how you kill people. So there you go. And 350% damage, not bad. Okay, that's not terrible. When HP is less than 50%, increase power by 40% and gain grit, which means I believe he'll survive one lethal attack, which is nice. And fills, fill plus ultra gauge by 30% at the start of the battle, at the start of each wave, increase critical rate by 30% for 3 turns. Now, the only thing I hate about skills that go with waves is a majority of the content, like mid and end game, there's only going to be one wave, so you're only going to be able to utilize that like one time. But in PvP, it could be decent, obviously. But in other areas of the game, like USJ, for example, or maybe even in the tower, it's not as useful, because those are going to be more long-term fights. So after that effect wears off, you now have a dead skill. So I'm not a big fan of a lot of units that utilize anything with waves because of that reason. PvP, it's fine, but the other 2 modes, as we mentioned, not so much. And I feel like those other 2 modes are going to be more or less what you're going to be playing a majority of the day, because PvP is going to be pretty quick. You're going to go into your 10 tries, boom, you're done. You're going to wait, 10 hours or so, do it again, and you're done. The majority of your actual gaming in this game, end game, will be in the tower in USJ. So again, waves just are not very fond with me when it comes to skills, but that's neither here nor there. Overall, his kit's decent, but, there's units out there that are already comparable to him, if not better than him already. So he's not something that I really am looking forward to. Let me know what you all think in the comment section below. What do you think about the new Midoriya? All right, moving on to Bakugou. Red Bakugou inflicts 700% damage to one enemy, deals an additional 40% damage if the enemy has a critical rate debuff, which he will give you with his second action skill if you use it in a successful chain, which means you have to, you know, be able to tap that bonus at least twice to get it off. Actually says using a successful chain. Maybe you only have to click it once, to be honest, because it does technically say times 1 chain. So I don't think you even have to do it twice. I think you only have to do it once, as long as it's him, to get that to go off. But anyways, regardless, he's going to do upwards of 740% damage on his ultimate, which kind of is similar to the Midoriya. So their ultimates are nice. They're nice big nukes. Inflict 350% damage to one enemy. Skills deal an additional 50% damage for 3 turns. Now, that is pretty good, because it says skills deal an additional 50% damage for 3 turns. That should already be included in his action skill right out of the gate as well. So that should push that 350 to 400. That should push his second skill 350 to 400. And that should also push his plus ultra skill from 740 up to 790. So this guy's going to be doing some pretty good damage. Very good damage, in fact. So his second action skill inflicts 350% damage to one enemy, low chance to burn enemy for 3 turns. When used in a chain, successfully reduce enemy's critical rate by 20% for 3 turns. Now, that, of course, lowering critical rate could be useful for any mode in the game, because obviously, you know, the less you're getting critted on, the less damage you're taking, which means more survivability for you. So it's perfect. So you'd want to use his action skill 1 first, then his second one, and then eventually his ult, and hopefully you do it all within 3 turns. Depending on how much your ult gauge is being, of course, built up via memories, etc., or other team members on your team, like a Hato, for example, you could do some really good damage with this Bakugou if he's in the right team. When HP is more than 50%, increases speed by 30%, could be very useful again in PvP. Fills plus ultra gauge by 30% at the start of battle. Again, with the right memory, there are memories out there that go up to 70%. You can max out his ult gauge on turn 1, which will allow you to go action skill 1, action skill 2, ult. Bam. Crazy levels of damage right there. You're gonna nuke somebody. Okay. Second auto skill. When HP is less than 50%, increases power by 40% at the start of each wave. Again, I'm not the biggest fan about waves, because a majority of the endgame content, you're only going to be doing 1 wave. But again, in PvP, it is helpful. Reduce enemies' power by 20% for 3 turns. So this unit is actually pretty good. If I was to give this unit like just a normal grade, like a school grade, for example, I would give him an A-. He's pretty decent. He's not an A, he's not an A+, because there's more comparable units out there already available that you might have already been able to pull or re-roll for, or the fact there's maybe some units out there that are already better, they have more utility, because just having pure damage is great sometimes, but if I want pure damage, they have to be an absolute nuke, like a nuclear warhead. They gotta go in and just lean house. And if they can't, then they need to have a little bit more utility in my team. Unfortunately, this Bakugou, he hits hard, but there's units that hit harder. Okay, so he would need to then bring me some utility for me to give him a higher grade. He doesn't really have that additional utility that I would like for my team. So I'm just going to give him an A-. He's pretty decent. He's pretty decent, but he's not something that I need to go out of my way to pull for. Now, this leaves me with the granddaddy. This is the beast. This is the unit you want to go for. The Shoto Todoroki, the agility one, the blue one. Inflicts 600% damage to one enemy. Now, that's lower than the other two damage-wise. However, remember what I said? We need some utility. This guy's bringing that, because check this out. High chance to freeze enemy for 1 turn. Medium chance to restrain enemy for 1 turn. Now, if we're going by normal Bandai logic here, again, this still has not been fully confirmed or tested yet, but if we're going by normal Bandai logic, low chance usually means 10%, medium usually means 25%, and high chance usually means 50%. Now, it could be slightly different in this game, but that's just kind of the logic I'm going by for now until further testing is done, and then we could actually confirm it. So for right now, we're just going to say 50% chance to freeze is insane for 1 turn, and then medium chance on top of that, 25% chance potentially to restrain, which means the character can't do nothing for 1 turn. That's all wrapped up in 1 plus ultra on top of 600% damage, which is crazy. And don't let that low 600% fool you, because if you put him in the right team and his other skills, he's going to be building up a lot of additional damage anyway. So that's a lot of utility and somewhat damage in 1 skill. I love it. Very good. And then we have his action skill 1. Inflicts 225 damage to all enemies. So AoE, which is great for PvP, great for some areas of tower. you know, when they have multiple units. So that's essential. And he's going to be really good for farming, for, you know, to get through story. If you are getting this guy kind of early on in your game and you just want to get through story quickly. So there you go. Low chance to burn enemies for 3 turns. All ally skills deal an additional 30% damage for 3 turns. Now, you see what that says? All allies. He's adding utility to your entire team. He's giving you more damage buffs. So that's great, including himself. So again, skills deal additional 30. That means his 225 would go up to 255. His ult would go from 600 to 630, etc., etc. Let's see here. Inflicts 300% damage to one enemy. Medium chance to freeze enemy for 1 turn. So again, we're getting some more utility there. When used in a chain successfully, all allies gain 30% damage cut for 2 turns. I'm not sure what, because this is still going by like the Japanese translations. Damage cut, I'm thinking 30% damage cut means damage reduction. I could be wrong on that. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm wrong on that, but I think damage cut means 30% damage reduction. Anyways, regardless, that's good. That is very good. More utility to your team, more survivability. I'm all for it. All right, auto skill 1. At the start of each wave, again, I hate waves. At the start of each wave, all allies gain a 3-turn burn resistance buff. That's going to be very good in PvP, though. Again, there's going to be a lot of fire units running around in PvP and a lot of Todorokis as well that are all doing burning. And burning does a ton of damage. If you've been burnt, you know how much damage you're taking. It's crazy. So it's really good to get that 3-turn protection of being burnt. That's nice. At the start of each wave, increase power by 40%. So again, that's always going to be very good in PvP. Again, I believe it's going to be for 3 turns. It's the way they word it's a little weird. Is the increased power by 40% also included in that 3 turn? Or is it just 1 turn? Or is it permanent? It's kind of, it's worded very weirdly. So if you are a JP player and you already have this unit, you've been testing this unit out, please let me know. Is that increased power by 40% for 3 turns at the start of the wave as well? Permanent, or is it 1 turn? I'd really love to know, because 40% for his own power would be really, really good. Because it doesn't say all allies get the power wave, power 40. It just says himself. But then again, it could also be included in the all allies gain a 3-turn, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. That one's worded very weirdly. Let me know if you guys know in the comment section below. I did not mean for that to rhyme. Holy crap. All right, and now he increases power by 40% if there's a pro hero ally on the team, which means you could throw in a unit like your Endeavor or All Might, which a lot of people are running, and you're going to get a free additional 40%, and it's permanent. So again, his 600% is a little misleading. He could do a lot more than that. He's going to squeeze a lot more damage out of that. Plus, he has a lot of utility. He's got an AoE. He's got burns. He's got restraints. He's got freezes. He's got team-wide buffs. He's got team-wide protection with damage mitigation. Resistances to fire. I mean, this dude is crazy. This is a fantastic unit, not to mention he looks really, really cool. And why he's on today's thumbnail, he looks like an actual beast. So I hope you guys all enjoyed my little review, breaking down these 3 units, talking about the League banner that's coming out soon, the World Heroes Mission banner. Let me know what y'all think you're going to be saving up going into this banner. What's your favorite unit of the 3? Again, mine personally, I love the Todoroki over the other 2. I still do think the Bakugou has a little bit to offer to you damage-wise. I'm not a fan at all of the Izuku. I'm not a fan of that Deku at all. The other 2 units are decent to great, with the Todoroki, of course. That's going to be it for me. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to get notifications. Join me in the Discord in the description below. And I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, as always, peace.